Welcome back to Total Party Kill. It's me, Tony Sindelar, one of several Dungeon Masters, your friend. Hello, nerds. Hi. I don't know how this works anymore. I'm entering my 5th day of Dungeon Mastering this week, and the important lesson here is don't be like me, but find amusement in my suffering. Speaking of suffering, let's introduce our players today. Today we are starting off on a special new, for now named, mini adventure. I have assembled a group of 5 players. Some of them you will recognize. They've all made at least one appearance on Total Party Kill before, but they are playing brand new level 2 characters.
Some of them you will pretend not to recognize when you see them in public.
Indeed. Cross the street, maintain 6 or 60 feet of social distance, depending on the incomparable panelist it is. We are playing an adventure from the Sly Flourish set of fantastic adventures, which feels like a thing I'm just saying like about them. Like, they're fantastic adventures. It's also literally just the name of the book or EPUB.
They're all right.
I would say they're fantastic. It's in the name.
They're pretty good.
I've enjoyed them.
They're great. Don't make the adventers mad, Steve. They can hear you.
Oh, no.
We will be playing the second adventure, titled The Dwarven Vault. I don't know where this happens in continuity with the Nightblade adventure. There's some timeline discrepancies to be worked out. But that's enough for me. Let us introduce our players, and they will introduce their characters. First up, from far to the north, Annette Weerstra, a Canadian, and Erp Chirper. Welcome back to Total Party Kill.
I'm very excited to be here with Chomasa, who is a Dragonborn Ranger, and the thing I'm most excited about, well, 2 things. 2 swords. I'm planning on killing lots of things with 2 swords, plus I have Dragon's Breath, so I'm going to...
That's like 4 things,
lots
I think, right?
of havoc.
Thing 1, sword. Thing 2, second sword. Thing 3, killing. Thing 4, Dragon Breath.
Okay, I'm just really excited. I've been alone a lot this week, so I'm excited about everything.
We're excited to have you here. Also joining us, it is James Thompson from far away in Scotland.
Hello, I'm glad to be back on here. I am playing Samson Jothem, who is a forest gnome artificer, I believe is the pronunciation.
That's not how we say it.
Well, you are wrong.
Which of you is an artificer?
Oh, crap. He's got us there.
Okay, I'll say artificer, but then
no, you should say it. You should say it. You should say it however you want. But I'm going to make fun of you either way.
It's pronounced primer.
It's artificent.
Yeah. James, I'm going to make fun of you either way, so follow your heart.
Yes, that's fair. Samson trained under the dwarfs. He's very good at making magical items, not so good at making friends.
Also here, it's Jason Snell.
Hello. I am going to be playing a very exciting character. He is a tabaxi bard, which means he is a big cat person. And he is a friend to all children, and he loves you. His name is Cool Cat. K-U-L-K-A-T.
Cool Cat?
Legally distinct.
Cat.
The apostrophe makes it legally distinct.
My lawyer would like you to spell that one more time, just to make sure we got the spell.
Cool Cat loves to jump and sing. Cool Cat loves to boogie boo. And Cool Cat loves to love you.
All right. Before we move on, I just want to check on. Jason, how many people are now watching the stream?
This can't be right. It's a negative number. Eric Savage's lawyer.
Can we rocket surgery a TPK?
All right. Next up, Monty Ashley.
Hello, I am Monty Ashley. I am playing Krong, a bugbear that is a monster from children's nightmares. You know how when you look under your bed and there's just a little bit of shadow, and you look away, and you look back, and now there's an 8-foot hairy monster with giant claws?
Yes, I do.
I'm that guy.
Monty is under our bed.
He's a rogue.
Are you the little bit of shadow, or?
I'm both.
Oh.
I am an 8-foot hairy killing machine that can hide in a tiny sliver of shadow. I'm a bugbear rogue.
Just like Monty Ashley actually is, yes.
And typecasting.
Yep. And last, it's Steve Lutz. Thank you for joining us, Steve. How are you today?
I'm good, although I'm wondering why I'm always last.
I don't think you're always last. I did them in the order that you people created characters, and you'll notice that you created your character last.
That might be why I'm always last, because I'm always the last one to get my stuff together.
Yep.
Yes, I am here. It's so exciting to play some D&D on this fine day.
Do you want to tell us? Yeah, do that thing.
That thing? What thing?
Yeah, the thing where you tell us about your character.
Oh, yeah, that thing. I'm playing Diendo Fatrabbit. I'm a monk from a mysterious and reclusive clan of halflings known as the Ghost Strike Halflings. Don't make me mad, or I will punch your butt.
All right. Words to live by. So, for the purposes of this adventure, because it is a short mini-adventure and we don't have time to get into your deep, rich backstories, you all know each other already. You can decide whether you've known each other for years or weeks or days. Probably at least days. Hours is unacceptable. And so, as you are all level 2 adventurers looking to make a name for yourself, you are traveling far and wide through the countryside, over hill and dale, through swamp and mountain and forest, seeking fortune and glory, or in this case, today, our adventure starts in a tavern. Because it's Dungeons and Dragons.
The tavern!
You have in your travels found yourself near the town of Whitesparrow. I'm showing you right now a world map that shows like the valley that Whitesparrow is in. Whitesparrow is right in the middle of it, and we'll go to a close-up map of it in a second. And there's a variety of interesting things around here, which is why it seemed like a good place to base your adventures out of for now. But I don't know. You're taking it easy. Today is a day where you are in the Tavern of Whitesparrow. I've taken you to a close-up of the town of Whitesparrow. In Whitesparrow is a decent-sized little town. There's about 100 people. Couple businesses. Temple, tavern, adventuring goods store. Lots of little houses and whatnot. Your standard
Giant hand.
Giant hand for people who have already
Gloss
listened.
over the giant hand.
For our people who have already listened to Mini Adventure 1, in which we have already have an adventure set in White Sparrow, get ready to hear the same jokes about the giant hand as told by new people. Yes, the most notable landmark in Whitesparrow is the giant hand sticking out of the earth in the middle of town. It is a cyclopean hand. It is huge. It has 6 fingers, which I don't know if that's the most unsettling thing about it, because it's also just a big, giant stone hand, and it predates the founding of the town. Somebody, way back when, some group of settlers said, "Oh, giant hand, this is a good place to settle down." And so they did. And a town sprung up around it.
It looks a little like it's growing out of the earth. Is that some sort of a chasm? Is there more to this hand? Is there a statue?
The hand seems... We're going to get all the hand questions out of the way early on. The hand descends into the earth. Over the many centuries, there have been various archaeological expeditions to investigate the nature of the hand. And the hand continues into an arm. The excavations have gotten about as deep as an elbow. And that's where they have gotten so far. Any other hand questions? We'll assume that you asked all the hand questions beforehand, and so your characters have deep hand knowledge.
Beforehand.
I have a question about the map. How can we see both west and east?
It's a distortion of the lens.
It's a panoramic you're looking at.
It's a 360 view.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
It's sort of virtual reality. If you had a virtual reality headset, just look at that.
The cartographer slowly rotated from west to east while he drew what he saw, and that's what it looks like.
I mean,
Makes
clearly
the center building very strangely shaped.
Well, I mean, clearly it's not to scale. So,
yeah, pretty much all these buildings are convex. It's very strange.
Yeah. And so our adventure starts in the single-only tavern of Whitesparrow, a tavern built right next to the giant hand, the ever-shady tavern, for it is often, if not always, in the shadow of a giant hand.
Are there more than 10 people in this tavern? Because I'm not entirely comfortable.
Right now?
Yeah.
Not at this moment, no. It's early afternoon.
All right.
Most people have jobs.
It's safe, everybody.
Yeah.
All right.
I sure love being in taverns.
Oh my God.
Jason, just quick number update.
It's actually wrapped around. There's an infinite number of viewers at this point.
Everybody in the world is now watching.
Oh,
We
great.
got a table
pressure.
in the corner. I feel more comfortable. in the corner.
Yes,
Back
so
to the wall.
you've got yourself a nice little booth where several of you can have your backs to the wall. Things in the tavern are pretty quiet. It is middle of the day. Most honest, hardworking people, not like you lazy adventurers, are out working the field or hunting or fishing or, making a living, earning food, that kind of thing, running their shops and businesses. And you're just there lounging about. Most of the people in the tavern at this point seem to be the people that work there. There's a family that owns and operates the tavern. So there's a mother seems to be the barkeep, and she's got 3 teenage sons running around doing barback activities. And there's 2, I can only describe them as alcoholic farmers here as well, who should be working, but are lounging around a tavern like you. Is there anything you would like to do at this stage of the adventure?
Let's drink.
Drink.
All right.
A pint?
And so you do.
We're lazing about.
And
I want to chat with some alcoholic farmers.
Cool Cat pulls out his pan flute and begins to play a soothing song that other people can enjoy.
Would any of you like to share your level 2 adventures? You've done something before in your lives. Perhaps with your recent acquaintances here, would you like to share any stories of past successes, failures, accomplishments, trials, and tribulations that your character has? This is your one chance to have a backstory, people.
I hid under a man's bed for 3 weeks.
And that's how we met.
Then I left. It wasn't a good bed. And
Which
it
is
was the
amazing
wrong
because-
man.
Because he was under dwarves at the time, and you were under his bed. I mean, there was a whole stack of things going on.
Yeah,
We're
it was a real...
very small.
We've done pyramids before in a previous adventure.
Mm-hmm. It was a real Princess in the Pea situation with a series of beds.
Yes. It's like, just the races get bigger as you get down the stack. And it's
I've caused 20 nightmares in my life.
It's bugbears all the way down.
I've caused at least 50. So it's Cool Cat.
I find that very believable.
That seems like kind of a small number, to be honest.
So my character has known Chomasa. Chomasa. That's what I thought. For quite a while. And we discovered along the way that my character can speak squirrel. And her character can also speak squirrel. So at any point, we can just communicate in squirrel with each other. So whenever somebody else in the party is doing something, there'll be just a sort of a knowing look and then a sort of and we're just sort of
They're doing it again.
Yeah.
This is good wine.
It's nice to be able to talk to your dinner in the field, I find. So that's a useful skill you have there.
Well, I think if we encounter any animals along the way, we will talk to them, make friends with them.
And at that
how
sound,
to say goodbye.
at that
well.
moment, there is the sound of howling. The howling of wolves. Wolves? That's a way that you could say wolves. That's not right. A howling of wolves cuts through the town, echoing through the tavern itself. It sounds something like this. Oh! And it is followed by the sound of screaming. Ah! As people are running and panicking in the streets outside the tavern.
So I have a fairly good grasp of wolf as well. What's being communicated by this sort of howl?
Give me a nature roll
Sure.
or some other relevant wolf interpretation roll.
I believe they are attempting to talk to their dinner.
I rolled a 17. So that sounds good.
That does sound good. I will tell you. I got to remember your character's name.
Samson.
Samson. Samson. It sounds like the wolf is angrily saying the word meat in wolf. MEAT, just to be clear.
Well, I'll just sort of say, I think we should just stay. We should stay inside.
Strangely, not a homophone in wolf language.
No, we
No.
should go out and meet.
We should save the town. They'll blame me if we don't.
Let's go out and meet them. Seems like a thing to do.
And Cool Cat looks at his pan flute like Did the howling come out of there?
These wolves sound like bullies.
I don't like bullies.
I love bullies.
The door to the tavern flies open and a panicked villager looks around the room. You only have a moment to make eye contact with him before something tears him in half. The two halves of the villager fall in the doorway.
All right, let's go.
I feel it's time to move.
You don't see that every day.
Can we hide behind the hand?
All right. So you all make your way to the door of the tavern. The tavern, the rest of the people in the tavern seem to be attempting to find various hiding places, taking cover behind the bar or other furniture. Clearly, people are panicked, but not you. When there is the sound of a wolf, when there is the sound of a villager being cut in half, the sound of two villager halves hitting the ground, you run toward danger. And so you make your way to the door of the Evershady Tavern and look out into the street. The sight that greets you is one of carnage. Villagers are panicking. Several dead villagers lie in the road, clearly mauled by a large lupine creature, and bounding down the street, blood dripping from its horrible, horrible jaws, is something that is wolf-like, but much bigger, with bony ridges rising from its back. You see one of the town guard run toward it and point a sword at it and say, "Stop!" And the wolf tears the man's arm off.
Nice.
Why don't you roll initiative?
Okay, sure, why not?
No reason.
That seems a low number.
Great.
Ooh.
12.
I rolled a 2.
I got a 22.
I got a 21.
All right, you should be able to
10.
add yourselves to the initiative thing.
You rolled an N?
Where n equals 10.
Oh, gotcha.
Do you see the initiative thing? Looks like many of you are adding it too.
I see it.
I will roll initiative for the wolf. The wolf has done very well for itself. Good job, wolf.
Oh, good for it.
It's got a good job, prospects,
I'm glad it has one last triumph in its life.
eating all of us.
Oh,
All right, we good?
so we got 2 of these things, huh?
There might be a second wolf lurking nearby. All right, so the wolf seems ready for battle, but more ready than a wolf is one Diendo Fatrabbit. Diendo, what will you do? You see a wolf has just clearly mauled a variety of people, including a town guard. There is still a hand with a sword dangling from his mouth.
Huh. Well, first I look over at Krong and say, "Hold my beer." And I hand him my beer.
Okay.
And then
Bonus action. Yeah.
then I will close with the dire wolf
Okay.
and try to take a stab at him with my spear.
All right. You bolt across the street toward the dire wolf and stab at it with the spear.
And thus, my first roll.
First roll of the adventure sets the whole tone for everything. Everything rides on Diendo Fatrabbit. Everything rides on Steve Lutz. This will make or break the next several hours of your lives.
Oh, the pressure!
We all already rolled initiative.
Oh, well, I wasn't paying attention.
That's a good point.
Yeah, and there was that
First attack roll.
trying
How
to
about that?
interpret the wolf was also
Yeah.
a roll. So,
Those didn't count. This is
it.
combat.
But now, for sure, really.
We'll fix this in post. That was a 22 to hit with my spear.
All right. The wolf is still enjoying a piece of delicious arm and does not see a small halfling running at it with a spear. And so you strike it with your spear.
Alas, that only did 5 damage. However, I also kick out with one of my tiny little feet.
Oh,
Try to kick it in the jaw.
you need to kick a wolf?
Yeah, so this is an unarmed strike.
And as a monk, you can do this. You can spear and... Is this
I
flurry
can.
of blows or something else?
No, this is just my regular old combat.
Oh, wow.
As long as I'm using a monk weapon, I can also tack on an unarmed strike as a bonus action. So,
I don't know if Aline in the other game knew that.
but alas, that was a critical fail, so that won't be doing anything.
You kick in the direction of the wolf.
I say,
Next
oh,
up,
crap.
Diendo Fatrabbit is your good friend Krong.
I will
You might want to
Drink
hand
this-
that beer to somebody.
finish this beer.
Oh, there you go.
Bonus action.
Yep. Move to behind my good friend Diendo, and using the incredibly long arms of a bugbear, swipe over the top of my halfling buddy and attack the dire wolf from 10 feet away.
You have 10 feet long arms?
That's what it says.
Wow.
Bugbear's got extra
That's
reach.
amazing.
That'd be really useful getting stuff down from shelves.
I'm just concerned about mainly, like, it seems hard to buy coats.
How do you hide under a bed without those arms, like, reaching out?
Like, they
and
roll, I
catching?
imagine there's a lot of, like, folding. Like, do you
But
have
they're really good for sort of reaching around the top of the bed.
do you have, like, an extra elbow? Or is it just the one?
It looks like I have extra elbows. I'm 8 feet tall, but my claws reach all the way to the ground.
I see.
Wow. Yeah, I feel like probably vests are the way you'd want to go with arms like that. A lot of vests.
Yeah. Anyway, I am pulling out a rapier and stabbing. Actually.
Wow.
You guys see that 20?
No, but okay.
Yeah.
Was. That's a natural 20.
All right, you critical stabbing at a wolf that has already been stabbed by a spear, so I believe you do special extra damage.
Well, I'm going to be doing sneak attack damage because one of my allies is within 5 feet of this jerk.
Oh, wow. You are sneaky. Yeah, that guy is very surprised that you had 10 feet long arms.
So I'm going to be rolling a D8 and a D6. That is a total of 10, doubling that for the critical, so it's 20 plus 3. I do 23 points of damage.
This wolf is severely, severely injured,
Yes.
But not dead.
but not dead. All right.
I nod at Krong.
Next up, it is Team Wolf. Everybody loves
Team Wolf? Is he going to play basketball at us?
That really doesn't make any sense for werewolves when you think about it.
Don't ride on the top of that cart. Are you crazy?
All right. So, I will tell you, the wolves are limited in terms of the things they can do because mainly they bite people. That's what they do.
Yeah, thanks for hiding behind the halfling, by the way.
It seems like there is
an
an obvious target here, which is one Diendo Fatrabbit. So the wolf is just going to try and take a chomp out of a halfling.
My name is somewhat ironic now. It's really sad.
Steve, I have bad news for you.
What's that?
The bad news is that I'm guessing a 23. We don't know what your armor class is, but I'm guessing it's lower than 23.
Yeah.
All right. You take the wolf tears into the leg that you kicked at it with, and you take 10 piercing damage.
Wow.
If the target is a creature, check. It must succeed on a DC 13 strength saving throw or be knocked prone.
Oh, good. Strength, one of my dump stats.
Yeah. One of?
Actually, I have advantage on those because I'm something.
Monkey.
I forget. I rolled under something. That is not great. That is a 9.
All right. You are knocked from your feet. I suspect you're good at getting back up again, though, because,
You didn't have far to fall.
Yeah.
Did you have a whiskey drink earlier?
Yes.
No, it was that
I start
beer
to sing
that
a
he
song
handed
that
to you.
reminds me of the better
He had
times.
the lager drink. It was the lager drink he handed you.
A second wolf comes running around the corner, encouraged by the signs and smells of battle. So we'll say he's kind of coming around this map is not intended as a battle map, but I'm using it that way. There's one wolf coming around the corner of the tavern. So the wolves are pretty far apart, is what I'm saying.
Is that wolf to scale?
Let's say, yeah. Nothing is to scale, but yes. That's a giant wolf.
He's
All
got
right.
scales?
Yeah, well, dire wolf. They're, spiny at least. Chomasa, you are next.
I am going to go for the one that's standing right beside me there. And I have 2 swords, which means I get to do an action and a bonus action with the sword, I believe. Because I have two-handed fighting.
So you figure Krong and Diendo have that other wolf taken care of, so you're heading off to the one that's near the tavern.
Yes, and it's also up in my grill.
Yeah.
So yes, we're going to find out if I'm left-handed or right-handed. I'm going to try first with my right hand. And even with my proficiency bonus, I just hit 8.
The wolf nimbly lunges out of the way and snarls at you. I'm a wolf. A dire wolf. But he says it in wolf.
I can translate, so.
I just at him and then come at him with my left hand. And 16.
16 clips the wolf for some amount of damage.
Oh, wow. What, 3? So it really was clipping.
Yeah. You gave him a
slight
disparaging
little scratch.
haircut. Yeah. Anything else, Chomasa?
No, that is my action and bonus.
All right. Cool Cat, you stand near the doorway to the tavern. Cool Cat.
Cool cat.
Lawyers.
Cool cat. Diendo, how bad off are you? What's your...
I've been better. I've got 6 hit points.
You got 6 hit points left.
You've got a wolf snack of amount of hit points, I'd say.
Oh, yeah.
Let's see.
If almost dead was a thing in 5e, I would be almost dead.
Paint a picture with your words.
All right. Well, first thing Cool Cat's going to do is very exciting. He is going to pull from his one of his pockets a boomerang and hurl it at the wolf that is attacking Diendo. Hey, I don't like it when my friends get bitten.
Okay, Boomerang.
17.
17 hits a dire wolf.
5 bludgeoning damage.
All right. Let me just check.
Cool Cat likes to bludgeon wolves,
That
and he
wolf
bludgeons them.
looks dizzy
so
and
good.
bloody.
And
So good.
what I'd also like to do is with a bonus action, I can do that, right? I can give a
it's a
healing
bonus
word. I can do a healing word to Diendo.
That's how bonus action works. That's how healing word works specifically. It's great for in combat.
So please take 5 extra hit points, Diendo.
I will take that, and I thank you.
Because Cool Cat loves you. Aww. And that's my turn.
All right.
I'm Cool Cat, and that was my turn.
Samson Jothem, last in the order, first in our hearts. What will you do?
Well,
Fancy
there
man.
seems to be a very intact and very angry direwolf right next to us.
Yeah, it's around the corner from you.
Okay. How dexterous do we think direwolves are?
I don't know. You're knowledgeable of the natural world, right?
Yeah.
Nature check.
Give me a quick nature check as a free action.
Okay. I rolled a 17 again.
I would say you think they're probably pretty dexterous. Probably dexterity and strength are their things. They're fast and strong. They're probably not big book readers.
Yeah.
The whole spine sticking out of the back might impede some of their charisma.
That's a harmful stereotype about giant monsters.
So I have a particularly good attack, but if they're very dexterous, it could fail terribly. But let's try it.
All right.
So Samson reaches into his backpack and pulls out an abacus. It's just a fairly large
Abacus.
metal abacus. Which
This does not the wolves seem unimpressed so far.
What
Continue.
metal is it made of? Is it sort of a platinum calculator?
no,
All right.
we don't use the word calculator.
I know,
we
but
Maybe
prefer abacus.
maybe a pewter
Pewter
calculator.
Pewter
Pewter.
abacus.
Yeah, pewter. Yeah,
P abacus.
everything runs on pewter these days.
Got it. P abacus.
It's the future.
Yeah.
And I use a catapult spell, which can fire any object.
Watch out, Cool Cat.
An
He's
object.
going to pulse you.
Choose any object weighing between 1 and 5 pounds within range that isn't being worn or carried. I've dropped it on the ground just beforehand. and the object is going to fly in a straight line up to 90 feet and impact into said direwolf.
All right.
That is the hope. Unless it can do a dexterity save of 13.
Let's find out. And you were targeting the injured direwolf.
No, I'm targeting, the one that's right.
Oh,
next to us.
okay.
The more intact one.
The direwolf definitely dodges out of the way.
Well, that was a waste.
It rolled, if it matters, a 20.
Maybe there's someone 90 feet away who's getting
Yes.
hit by something.
Yeah.
Somebody is going to get very surprised 90 feet away when an abacus explodes.
Math!
Thankfully, I have more abacuses in my bag.
Abakai?
I don't know.
Abacopodes?
I'll have to.
It's a Greek word, not Latin.
Oh, then it'd be
Yeah.
Abacopodes.
Thank you.
Well,
I thought it
Maybe.
was Swedish.
Bugbear is smart.
okay. Well, that was pretty much all I had. I had the power of math. It failed.
It always does. What were you expecting?
Remember when I said you couldn't have a laser gun in this game?
Yes.
He picked an abacus.
Diendo Fatrabbit.
Indeed.
You are somewhat hurt. You are on the ground. A badly wounded wolf is standing pretty much over you. How's it going?
It's going all right. I mean, I got more hit points back. So I'm no longer in the almost dead status. Very technical thing. But I'm going to take another shot at this dude with my spear.
You want to get up first, or
I suppose I lose something if I try from the ground.
yeah?
Huh?
Don't let me tell you how to monk.
No, that's all right. I'll get up. It's not one of my fighting styles, ground fighting. So I will stab at him with my spear and see if I can do some more damage. That's not great. That's 12.
12 does not hit. You know, it's hard. You've lost some blood. You maybe don't have the same focus you had before. Do you want to do an unarmed strike on him?
Yeah, I'm going to actually spend a key point, and I'm going to unleash a fury of blows. So holding my spear, which just missed.
It's a flurry of blows.
What did I say?
Fury.
I think I said flurry.
Okay.
I think what you think you heard is flurry. Yeah, I'm still holding my spear, which I just missed with. I do a split leap and kick at him with both feet as I spin through the air.
Nice.
Dun, dun, dun. That is 15.
Ugh, you kick a wolf in the head.
Good. I'm glad. It's not going to do a lot of damage, though. That is only a d4. That's 5 points of damage.
The wolf goes down.
Oh, do I have to spend my key point then? Can I have just used my
Could
one-armed attack?
you could probably use a move and go over and use the rest of your flurry of blows on the other wolf, right?
How far away is he?
I would say maybe 20 feet.
Yeah, but I've just used half my move to get up.
Let's say 10 feet.
All right.
It's exactly as close as you need it to be, Steve.
Yeah.
I will saunter over to the other
Look,
wolf.
you know what? It helps because you just kicked a wolf in the head, so you just kind of leap. You propel yourself off the wolf head. You
I like that.
It's like I don't know if you guys know this. Dire wolves, their heads are basically springs.
Noted.
They're upside
Their
down.
bottoms are made out of
Tiggers.
rubbers?
Yeah,
bobbleheads.
Yeah, they're basically an inverse Tigger if you think about it. Canon.
No, Tigger's tops are made out of springs, right? Their bottoms are made out of rubber.
That doesn't
is a
make any
Tigger.
sense. Anyway,
Yeah.
you're
They're
next to
bouncy,
a,
bouncy, 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 bouncy.
And
okay.
fun.
Great.
All
Now
right.
we're gonna get sued by them too. So. The intellectual property of the Total Party Kill podcast is now tied up in a long-running fight between the Cool Cat Enterprises and Disney.
I wonder whether the lawsuit from Disney or Derek Savage will be the more fierce. It's hard to say.
Disney have probably bought Cool Cat at this point.
Yeah.
So.
All right. So
I mean,
spring
obviously,
off of-
Disney has better lawyers, but when you see Cool Cat holding a press conference on the steps of the Supreme Court, you know,
If I saw Cool Cat in Disneyland, I would get my photo taken with him so fast.
you mean before he's like
Before
tranquilized
he's wrestled to
by
the ground,
his-
yeah. Uh-huh.
That's right.
by security.
Meanwhile,
Meanwhile.
a monk springs off of a wolf's head, flies across the, road or whatever we're on here, and tries to kick at the other wolf's head. And that is a 22.
Wow.
Roll me damage.
I will. That's a 6 damage.
All right, that wolf has been clipped and kicked.
Your kick did better than my sword.
I got Feet of Fury.
I'm a little embarrassed now.
Diendo, are you all done?
Yeah, I think that's all I can do at this point.
All right. Krong, it's just you and a wolf corpse standing in the middle of the street. The fight is now happening behind you.
So, like any other Tuesday.
This other wolf, does it look like there's a way I could sneak around behind him if I were to hide first? Like fade into the shadows and crawl along under the eaves of the houses? Or is he just out in the middle of the road?
I'm going to say he's right by the edge of the tavern because he was going to attack you people standing in the tavern doorway. So maybe there's some shadows. And especially, you know what? I was going to say, like, it's the middle of the day. There's no shadows. But you are literally outside. You are literally outside the ever shady tavern in the only shady part of town in the shadow of a giant hand.
Then
so, do you have to roll something to hide? I apologize for not knowing exactly how that works. Like, do you just get to hide?
I use my bonus. I will use my bonus action to hide, and then you normally have me make a stealth roll to see how well I am hiding.
Why don't you do that? Does the wolf get to like perception you?
Sure, go ahead and try. I rolled a 24.
The wolf rolled a 22, which would, under normal situations, be very impressive. Actually,
there's a halfling all up in his face.
Yeah.
Hold on. The wolf has advantage on perception checks because he's an animal. Surprisingly, his second roll was lower than 23.
All right.
Yeah. All right. Somehow,
Now
the wolf, who is an alert,
bugbear.
keen alpha predator, does not see the hulking bugbear sneaking up on him through the shadow of the giant hand.
I will creep up behind him and stab at him with my rapier.
Bugbear versus Predator is my favorite of these movies.
Now I have advantage, so I will have either a 20 or a 9. I chose the 20. I have a total of 20 to stab at him.
You soundly stab that wolf in the side. I suspect you have sneak attack because you're being very sneaky.
Yes.
Sneakily and soundly stabbed him in the side.
I didn't roll D8 plus D6 plus 3. 13 points of piercing damage.
Wow. All right. That wolf is sad.
Oh.
Some of its blood is a significant quantity of its blood is now outside of it. All right.
Diendo sees the bugbear emerge from the shadows out of seemingly nowhere, stab the wolf in the side, and Diendo pees a little.
I get that a lot.
All right. So
One of the perks of the job.
The wolf flails around looking for a target, and it sees you, Krong, the creature that hurt it most recently, and it is going to try and bite you.
Okay.
12 versus AC.
Not good enough, little
Its
wolf.
jaws snap in your vicinity, but don't connect. I think this is probably it for the wolf. Chomasa, you are next. You're there with your 2 swords.
Ready with my 2 swords to go. We're going to start with my right hand again. Wow. Just 11. Sorry, my math skills are sad. 11.
The wolf, you can't connect, and with your other blow.
That would be 23, so clearly I'm left-handed.
Clearly, that left hand manages to cut some wolf. Roll me damage.
It is 6.
That wolf is not looking good. It yelps, "Ow!" and looks like perhaps it regrets the situation. Cool Cat?
Cool Cat says, "I don't like wolves," and he pulls from another pocket another boomerang.
Shouldn't the first one come back to you?
It only comes back on a miss. Otherwise, I have to retrieve it later. But I have. I bought a 6-pack of boomerang, so I'm okay.
Oh,
a 20 to hit, 6 damage.
That's a good deal.
Yeah.
Did you get that from Snick and Snack?
Yeah, that's like a family pack of boomerangs.
Mm-hmm.
That wolf is not happy.
That's it for Cool Cat.
All right, Samson Jothem, you have a chance to be the hero you've always wanted to be.
Well, apparently not everything can be solved with the power of math, so I'm going to use the power of a... Where is it gone? I do. Oh yeah, short bow. I have a short bow. Since I wasn't allowed a laser pistol, even though D&D Beyond said I could have a laser pistol, Dad said I couldn't have a laser pistol.
My name is Tony.
Yes, Dad. So I will shoot at the wolf with my short bow.
All right.
/ laser pistol.
You can call the short bow a laser pistol.
Yes, I could rename it in D&D Beyond. That would make me happy.
The laser pistol did like 3d6 damage. It was not an appropriate weapon for you to have at level 2.
Well, you know. I got a 13 plus 4, 17. So many 17s.
You plug the wolf with a bolt from your laser pistol bow.
Which does a grand total of 5 damage.
This wolf is hanging on by a thread. The next hit will take it out. Diendo Fatrabbit
is gone.
It's not there.
Here.
He just
It's
left.
invisible.
Oh no!
Delays his turn. Krong, the next hit will take it out.
Somebody else gets to be the hero. Take that, Diendo.
So he's staring right at me?
Oh, yeah.
Well, it's going to be hard to hide then in that situation.
Yeah, it seems very hard to hide in this situation.
Guess I'll just stab him in the face.
It is a way.
Total of 20.
All right, you stab a wolf in the face for more than 1 hit point of damage, killing the wolf.
Ooh, I rolled very badly.
And yet still more than 1. It looks like you rolled 5.
Yeah.
A number traditionally more than 1. And so things are quiet for a moment as the sounds of battle break, and it's just you and some wolf corpses and the assorted corpses and screams of the villagers who have been mauled and still cling to life.
I think Samson is going to walk over and collect together a variety of pieces of abacus, which are spread over quite a distance.
Cool Cat returns for his boomerangs.
And I use a mending cantrip, and I sort of gradually assemble back an abacus. Never waste an abacus.
Yeah,
I will hand Diendo an empty glass.
Okay.
I throw it.
One of the barbacks from the Evershady Tavern says, "Hey,
I brought that. I brought that with me."
All right, so things are quiet and peaceful, but still there is carnage. There are 2 wolf bodies there. The fight was less than a minute, and now a few more of the town guard have arrived. There's a sheriff barking orders and dealing with cleaning up the mayhem, and people are attempting to restore the closest thing there is to order following the wolf attack.
I would like to talk to the sheriff and ask him about the wolf attacks. And do these happen often? Her? Yes,
Yeah,
the male sheriff.
So the sheriff of
Isn't
Whitesparrow.
every sheriff played by that guy with the big mustache that's in those truck commercials? I thought every
Are
sheriff
you thinking
was
of
played by him.
Sam Elliott? The sheriff of Whitesparrow is one Sheriff Ruth Willowmane.
Oh, fine.
Sheriff Ruth Willowmane, as
Sam
described
Elliott
in a
is never much
previous,
better.
has described.
Elliot can't. Sam
does
Elliott can't
have a
play
nice
somebody named
mustache.
Ruth?
Yeah.
She's got a good mustache.
Sheriff Ruth Willowmane, as described in the previous adventure.
Haven't listened to it.
Yep, it's okay. She is middle aged. She has giant arms covered in tattoos. The only thing she has more of than tattoos is scars. She is wearing a somewhat impressive hat and funky boots, and has a polished star.
Please elaborate on the boots.
Yep.
Well, they make the sound thunk 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 when you walk.
Oh.
Okay.
They're made of leather.
I thought you said
They're
funky
big.
boots.
I don't know if
No,
there's
it's funky.
Like Bootsy Collins.
Cool Cat is extremely charismatic,
And she is
but
clearly
I don't know if he needs
taken control of the scene and is ordering the various guards and villagers about. People are being administered first aid. It seems like most of the people that were directly attacked by the wolves are unfortunately dead, but there are a variety of people who hurt themselves in more mundane ways, running in panic from the wolves, and so they are being treated. People are being, arrangements are being made to transport various corpses. So she's in control of the scene.
Yes, so I would like to approach her and ask her if this sort of thing is common, because it's horrible. And we did kill those 2 wolves, so we were able to finish it, and that's great. And like I said, Cool Cat's very charismatic, if that helps.
Okay. Like how you always remind us that Cool Cat is charismatic.
Cool Cat's very charismatic, more so than I am, and I would like that edited into the
also,
record, please.
I don't know if memorable is the same as charismatic.
Charisma has a lot of definitions.
The town and I personally appreciate what you did with the wolves. It's good heroism. Not everybody who passes through town is as heroic as you.
Where do they come from?
I can't say that this kind of thing has ever happened before. Very unusual.
Did anybody see where they came from this time?
I can't say. I don't know. We'll ask around and see what we can do. You're of course free to investigate it yourself if you would like.
That sounds great. I love investigating.
I'm increasingly regretting not playing Butch the Barbarian.
There may be future adventures, Steve. Well, again, this is just a pittance, but I appreciate your work. And she hands you 3 gold coins.
Hey guys, coins!
Yeah, how are we going to divide that by 5? I mean, I've got an abacus, but it doesn't do division.
Cool Cat slips the coins into his boomerang pocket for later.
Don't you want to make sure don't get those mixed up and you accidentally reach for a boomerang and throw coins at someone?
There's a little coin pocket inside the boomerang pocket.
Mm-hmm.
You're buying the next round.
Well, should we investigate?
Yeah.
Yes.
Looks like wolves.
I rolled a 10 on investigation, so...
Thanks, Ice-T, the bugbear.
Yeah.
I have a +3 on investigation. And
I rolled an 11.
I rolled a 19 + 3.
Wow. All right, Samson, what are you investigating?
I'm investigating... I think I'm going to start with a hand, because it's kind of like a focal point.
Well, I know wolves just came into town for the first time in recorded history and ripped a bunch of people apart. But what's the deal with this hand?
I'm more interested in the whole kind of...
Clearly, you were just assaulted by wolves just this instant. But let's get a fresh take on the hand that's been here for centuries.
Samson is picking through the dead body like he's going to make some Quincy-like discovery, and then he turns around and goes, "Whoa, that is a big hand!"
Just one more question about this big hand.
all right,
Samson.
Samson, I think feels that, the only thing that's out of place in this town is a giant hand.
All right, Samson, this is totally happening. We had to make fun of you about it first. You may also learn things about the hand that the listeners already know. So you start walking with intent toward the scene of the crime, the wolf corpses, and then do 180 degrees and walk over to the hand and are staring at the hand intently. Perhaps you have some devices for observing or monitoring it or getting some readings. There's
certainly some things in my hand that are going beep.
Yeah, you're getting the full range of readings off of this hand. Let me tell you some things that you know about the hand. Looking for my hand notes.
I will not have a talk
Searching
to
for
it.
my hand notes.
6 fingers. That's weird, right?
Yeah.
Great job.
Did somebody's father get killed? I'm sure they did that joke last week.
As you study the hand, the thing that occurs to you right away about this hand, Samson, is you are, a worldly, you're a bit of a scholar as far as fancy men go, and you're a tinkerer who makes various things and is familiar with a wide range of materials, and this hand is made of something beyond your experience. So it is
Jeez.
It is not like anything you have ever encountered before.
See, I just picked out the one thing in this scene.
Yep. You poke at the hand a little bit. The hand seems to be like impervious to any kind of scratching. Like you can't even like cut a little bit, like a flake off to test or anything like that. It is rock-like, but resembles no rock that you've ever seen before. And, the more you stare at it, kind of gives you a buzzing in the back of your head that doesn't feel so great.
Okay. Well,
looking around the hand, there is this rather large crevasse next to the hand that looks like it was human excavated, and there's some walkways and ladders and rope bridges around it. They look like they are quite old and decrepit, like probably several decades old. And so I will tell you in your investigation, you say like going down there is probably a pretty bad idea in terms of how shoddy the materials of the rope ladders and whatnot look like. So
I know
good?
nothing about wolves, but I can criticize the craftsmanship of a hand.
Indeed.
Right.
So that was Samson. Who else was doing things?
Cool Cat is investigating where the wolves came from, and he got a 10.
Okay, a 10. What does that look like to you? I mean, what are you looking at?
I'm looking at I may have seen that one wolf come around the corner, so I'm following that, and I'm looking at the trail of it's very David Caruso. Cool Cat is looking at the trail of the bodies and the victims and trying to get some idea of where the wolves might have come into town.
All right. Well, a 10's not very good, but I will tell you, these wolves have left a pretty clear path of carnage.
Yeah.
And muddy or in many cases bloody footprints that seem to, they seems like they meandered a little bit as they got closer to the tavern, but it looks like they entered town from the west.
Follow the gore.
Chomasa, were you doing an investigation check also?
I did an 11 and I'm just looking around. Are there survivors around standing?
There are some survivors. They are being tended to by the guards that the sheriff is commanding.
Is there anyone upright or watching and around enough that I could ask questions of?
Sure. Let me just pull up a name real quick in a way that is totally seamless and convincing. Da, da, da.
How often does this hand get washed?
Probably never.
Just out of curiosity, are any of us over 30 years old?
Yes.
So why?
Not me.
I'm only 11.
Cool Cat's just a kid. The size of a grown adult man.
So yeah, there is someone standing kind of by the tavern. You in fact recognize that he was in the tavern at the time that the attack broke out. He's standing there kind of in shock, standing by the tavern. He looks like a early 30s dwarf. He looks a little shaken up.
I approach and ask, "Hey, how are you doing?"
This is real bad. This is real bad.
So, did you see anything before the attack, or were you in, do you see where they came from?
I saw that guy get torn in half by a wolf.
Hey, but you were in the bar, so you didn't see anything before the attack.
No, I saw you guys. You were over there too.
Okay. I give him a hug.
Did you see me?
I did see you, and I give him a hug and tell him, I slip him a coin to go buy a beer.
He goes back into the tavern.
Kind of sounded like we thought he was a suspect at first, and now we're paying him off.
Yes.
Yeah. Hey, you! Are you a wolf also? If you're a wolf, you have to tell me.
We don't have a lot of people, so sometimes you have to be good cop and bad cop at the same time.
So let's see. Cool Cat has done some stuff. Chomasa has done some stuff. Diendo, did you want to be doing anything?
I'm just going to sort of slowly start to follow the trail of gore towards the west and see where it leads. I'm not going to go out of town or anything, but I'm just going to see if I can identify where the source of it might have been.
And did you already roll investigation?
I didn't. Should I do that?
Sure, why not?
All right. Oh, it's not that great. It is 8. I'm sorry, no. It's an intelligence skill, so that's a 6.
You're not sure. Wolves are hard.
Yeah.
All right. So perhaps you reconvene and share what information you found and figure out what your next steps are going to be.
I feel that Diendo's plan of sort of following the trail of carnage makes some sense.
Yep.
Well,
that's what I think we should do.
Let's find where those wolves came from.
But the hand, people, it's just so strange.
It'll be here when we get back. We'll be able to
not
investigate
moving.
it without the constant interruption of dire wolves.
What if we come back and the hand is gone?
We can investigate it.
Oh,
I mean,
good point.
it looks like there's a way down. I wouldn't recommend it, but there is a way down.
I wouldn't mind, setting out in about an hour, because I'm a little down on hit points here. I wouldn't mind spending a hit die.
We could take a short rest. We could do that.
Well, but if we're going to have a rest, I shall. Let's see now. I will pull from my bag a dice, and I shall infuse the item with. No, hang on, not that one. I've got another one. Basically, I can make the dice light up, and I shall drop it down the stairs or stair-like things, and just see what happens.
Is this with the hand? You're still on the hand? Is that what we're
Yeah,
doing right now?
I'm like obsessed. It's like
Yeah.
I have not.
Yep, you and Lisa Smizer.
Are the rest of us going to take a short rest?
Indeed, you do.
Okay, I'll do the Song of Rest, and
All right.
and that means you get an extra 1d6 hit points back.
Cool.
Steve?
What? I have a question about the Song of Rest.
Yes.
What's it sound like?
Cool cat likes to rock and roll. Cool cat likes to jump and sing. It goes like that.
Oh, that's good.
That's very restful.
I feel so rested.
You have a lovely singing voice, Cool Cat.
In the end, I didn't need it, but thank you anyway.
Cool cat will take any chance to play his pan flute.
His flute has been panned. Anyway,
I looked it up. But my thing was called magical tinkering.
okay.
Where I can,
So,
You're tinkering off the edge.
so there is a inappropriately themed concert happening right after the slaughter in the tavern. The people in the tavern seem very taken aback by it. Meanwhile, outside the tavern, in the middle of a mass casualty event, Samson is studying the hand. He has enchanted some mundane objects with like a light spell and is throwing them into the pit to see how far down they go. They disappear into the darkness. You can kind of see them bouncing around down there. It looks like the pit goes down. The hand continues into an arm, and you can kind of see a crook of an elbow. So it's a pretty good drop down to there. But there is it is not a bottomless pit. It has been excavated, and that is as far as they got.
You'd think they'd have a sign saying, "Do not throw trash into the pit." Maybe they'll
It's
put
not
up when
trash.
they finish putting up this fence that they started putting around their giant pit and then stopped.
Ruth Willamane happens to walk by and says, "Most people know better than to throw trash into the pit."
If we knew better, we wouldn't be the kind of people that are going to save you from your direwolf problem.
Direwolf
Mayor.
opportunity. I'm a sheriff. All right. Back in the tavern. You have regrouped. You have Song of Rested. You have taken your short rest.
Let's follow the trail.
All right.
against my better judgment, I'll leave the hand for now. But we're coming back,
Yes. We promise to come back.
and we'll go down. You promise?
Samson's gonna be the first to die.
There's just an elbow down
We promise
there.
to come back.
I read this pamphlet they had in the tourist center.
The name of that pamphlet. Stop asking so many questions about the hand. It's the only
The
pamphlet
tourism
they have.
department just says, "Quit asking." It's weird.
if you're not prepared to answer the questions about the hand, don't build your village around a giant six-fingered hand.
Yeah,
I wanted to take the walking tour, but it was just a guy pointing at the hand.
Wait.
They have one follow-up pamphlet. It's like, "Can please check out the spa? Local businesses need your money."
The name of this town is Whitesparrow. Did there used to be a giant bird in the hand?
The
Well,
pamphlet
we're
doesn't
the size
cover
of that bush.
So the pamphlet doesn't cover such facts. Cool cat. Let's
follow the trail of blood and entrails back to where those wolves came from.
Indeed.
I love blood and entrails,
Does somebody want to give
and
me
I
some
love
kind
you.
Does somebody want to give me some kind of check for following trails of blood and entrails?
What would that be?
Yeah,
I've got
yeah.
perception.
Sure.
All right. Just perception, I'll try it too.
I get a 19 plus 3 on perception.
I can't beat that.
I got a 2 minus 1. 1.
9.
I got a 19 on perception.
All right. So, Chomasa, you feel confident that the trail kind of heads west out of town across the countryside. This area of the valley is kind of open, rolling countryside, mainly farmland. And you feel like you could head. It's a little bit swampy in places. It does just kind of cut across the wilderness. It's not like there's not a road or a path because they're wolves. They don't know how to drive. Canon.
Don't know how to drive. Got it.
Yep.
Only because cars haven't been invented yet.
Well, carts.
Haven't been invented yet. Isn't that your job?
Yeah.
Yeah, give me half an hour on a cart. I could come up with something.
Just don't
All
ride
right.
standing up. It's very
And
dangerous.
so, without too much trouble, you are able to follow the path of carnage and bloody wolf footprints west of Whitesparrow until it comes to a farm, basically a little farm settlement, a short walk from town. The farm settlement does not look good. The smell of blood hangs in the air, and streaks of red stain the brook where it runs alongside the little path leading to the farmhouse. A large water wheel turns in the blood-stained water, trailing small crimson waterfalls as it rises. In addition to at least a dozen slain farm animals, 2 mutilated humanoid bodies float in the water nearby, caught on the rocks. By the wheelhouse stands the little farmhouse with its door smashed in.
Chomasa is investigating and rolled a 14.
All right, so you are poking around. There are a lot of slaughtered farm animals and some mutilated humanoid bodies here. Unfortunately, it looks like the wolves or something has really torn this place to shreds. I will tell you, Chomasa, you discover you were searching the body, and it clearly was torn into pieces and chewed on by some kind of horrible beast. Probably a dire wolf, but not necessarily. I'll also tell you, you find in the pockets of this creature a 14 silver pieces. And particularly these silver pieces are each embossed with a dwarven helm and a battle axe.
Is this a dwarf corpse she's looking at?
This is a human farm person, which is to
I
say,
show the
person who works on a farm, not someone who turns into a farm at full moons.
That would be a were farm, right?
I show the coins to the group and surmise perhaps they got these from some sort of dwarven cache.
I have a
Perhaps in a
+5
vault.
on. I have a +5 on history.
Maybe a vault.
Can I see anything about the coins in particular?
Roll history, Samson.
I got a 13 + 5, an 18.
You, in fact, are very knowledgeable. You recognize the symbol on the silver coins. These were coins that were minted, I guess, by a clan of dwarves known as the Deep River Dwarves, who resided in the nearby mountains about 2 centuries ago.
They play good bluegrass. Hey, I'd like to use a perception check to see if there's any signs of life, anybody stirring or any sounds
All
of
right,
people
give me a
screaming.
perception check.
It's 22.
All right. You start poking around. There does seem, though, outside the farmhouse is just a scene of carnage. Things are a little more intact inside the farmhouse, and you discover it looks like a young woman, kind of in shock, covered in blood. You might have mistaken her for a corpse at first, kind of hiding behind the stove in the farmhouse.
Well, this takes me back.
It's funny on the other side of the mirror there, isn't it? Hey, you can come out now. I think they're gone.
I saw my children killed by a wolf.
Oh, maybe you should stay in there for a while. Just, chill out for a bit. Who was it? Was it wolves?
It was wolves.
Just wolves? Anything
It was
else?
two terrifying wolves, bigger than any I'd seen in the morning, in the light of the dawn. Wolves coming out of the woods.
Well, we have good news about the wolves.
We
not about
killed
the children.
them.
Yes. Thanks for stepping on my line, Cool Cat.
You're welcome.
The other good news is we may be able to get some of your kids back.
There's no evidence that that's possible.
But by that, do you mean an arm?
How fast is a
Let's
dire
false
wolf's
hope.
digestion is my question.
I mean, I think they're pretty efficient. I think they chew a lot.
Well, they're
Thanks,
still,
Steve.
They still make...
Somehow managed to make the adventure darker than it already was.
That means they may still be on the trail between here and Whitesparrow, so we may still be able to find something you can bury.
I'm staying outside. I don't think this woman needs to see a giant child-killing monster just at the moment.
Is there anybody else around here? Are you it?
I think they were all killed.
Wow. Well, that's rough. We're going to get moving.
Are there any animals around that we can see?
There are the slaughtered corpses of a variety of farm animals.
I'll
You
ask
know?
the, I would ask the
any-
woman. You said they came out of the woods. Where exactly? And is there anything we should know about the woods?
She points west. There is kind of a game trail cutting up through the woods. Looks like it's heading up into the mountains.
Ah, that's where these coins came from.
How do you
Great.
figure?
Nice.
I look at the coins. I know these things. You just have to trust me here.
He knows these things.
He doesn't know about the hand, but he knows about coin.
I trained under dwarfs for many a year. I think I can recognize a mountain coin.
Must have been hard to breathe down there. Well, shall we see what we can see about following what's left of the trail that the wolves left through the woods?
Yes.
Yes.
All right. So
Does the lady need healing or anything, by the way? I feel like we
She
should do
seems
something
mainly
for her
to
if we
be
can.
in shock
Oh,
and not
well,
physical danger.
I slap her.
No, don't do that.
That's what you do for shock, right?
I don't. What?
Put a blanket on her.
Yeah, you went to the worst medical school ever.
I have very small hands. It's really more like a kiss.
Oh, okay. I'm glad you didn't slap her with your feet.
Your hands are deadly weapons.
Yeah,
I have control over them.
they're registered.
Some.
All right. So you decide to head out. I will tell you that most of the path of the wolves that was easy to follow because of the blood and bits of people that they were leaving behind was mainly a result of the slaughter at the farmhouse. It's a little bit harder to follow the path up through the woods. So you are going to need to make a survival check to follow this path through the woods.
Oh boy.
Ooh.
It
all
doesn't
of
need
us?
to be everybody, or it could be whoever's going to lead the group.
Okay, Cool Cat's not. He got a 3. Cool Cat is lucky to be alive.
I
Cool
rolled
cat.
a 13.
I've got
Cool
a
Cat-
9.
Cool Cat walks into a tree and takes 1 hit point of tree damage. Yes, so Krong, you are somehow somewhat more comfortable surviving in the horrible wilderness, and you are able to sniff out the path of the wolves, though it is less obvious here. And it does indeed seem to continue kind of heading west, but up into the foothills of the mountains. Anything you wish to do as you follow the path west, up into the hills and into the mountains?
Check for traps.
Roll perception.
wolves?
I see a big hand here on the map. Should we check that out yet?
Does the hand look different from up here? Like, can we see the lines on its palm?
I
does
rolled
look-
21 perception.
All right, so Chomasa, you are being ever vigilant for traps and ambushes and wolves. From here, the hand appears smaller than it did when you were much closer to it.
Interesting.
Oh, this lifeline is not good.
So you have not
6 fingers, it'll fold differently.
Yeah. Between Krong's tracking abilities and Chomasa's ever vigilance, you do not have much trouble navigating the wolves' path through the woods, following the game trail. Occasionally, there is a small slaughtered animal, some squirrels and birds along the way. There's barely much left of them. There's just kind of a splash in the foliage. But it seems like those wolves basically killed anything living along the way. And after a few hours, you arrive at a dig site. Move you to a map. You see the map?
Yeah.
Allow me to read the description of the dig site.
No, don't do it.
How many times do you like us to interrupt?
Follow your heart. I'm going to keep going.
Okay.
It's really just an exercise for the editor.
Hi, Erica.
A mining camp sits within dwarven ruins that must be thousands of years old. The head of a huge dwarven statue, split in half and lying on its side, serves as a wall and shade for a set of tents and makeshift wooden buildings. Steam rises from a series of narrow shafts cut into the rock, each of which appears to pierce deep into the earth. The bloody remains of a number of humanoids are spread in a wide swath at the center of the camp. Within the carnage, you can make out the head and arm of a dwarf still attached to a mutilated torso.
Neat.
So you have followed the trail of slaughter to yet another scene of carnage. Good choice.
Again, I'm going to search for survivors.
All right.
That is a 22 perception.
So, Diendo, you survey the area. There does not look like there is anybody that is intact, let alone a potential survivor. And in fact, you are quick to spot, kind of rooting around in the remains, two rather fearsome-looking dogs that I'm going to place on the map.
Oh, dear.
Why are these dogs fearsome? Well, they're dogs, and dogs are bad.
Cannon.
You can send email to me about dogs to I love dogs at jasonsnell.dogs.com.
Ask Cool Cat about him. Cool Cat loves dogs.
No.
How do you feel about dogs, Cool Cat?
Specifically, Diendo, you immediately have a bad feeling about these dogs because they are rooting around in carnage, eating blood and visceral bits, and also they have a non-traditional dog status, which is that they have two heads.
Visceral bits. I'm going to get me some visceral bits.
Yay.
So
Only they do it in stereo because
I will say that the dogs look up and see all of you standing on the edge of the campsite.
Who's a good boy?
I think I could speak dog.
me.
So we could try talking to them.
Go for it.
Talk fast.
I have 2 swords ready.
They seem to have a turn order already. That's interesting.
That just in case your great idea doesn't work out.
Pay no attention to the initiative to the left of the curtain.
Yeah, hold on. Just gonna roll some dice over here. No reason.
So let's just go with that. Hey guys, how's it going?
4 dog heads from 2 dogs bare their teeth and growl back at you. Samson, would you like to do a nature check as a free action?
Sure.
Yeah, the answer to that is always like, why not?
13 plus 3, 16.
All right, you recognize that these are a specific type of monster known as a death dog. A death dog is a wretched
What do they do?
two-headed hound that roams plains, deserts, and the Underdark. Hate burns at a death dog's heart. That seems like where hate would burn, yeah?
You didn't
And a
say
taste-
mountains.
Yeah.
These are the diametrical opposite to Cool Cat.
You know, that's assume that was a totally intentional thematic choice. Where was I? Hate burns at a death dog's heart, and a taste for humanoid flesh drives it to attract travelers and explorers and foolish adventurers. I will even tell you, what did you roll, Samson? It was like 16?
It's 16, yeah.
Yeah, I'll say that you know this. Death dog saliva carries a foul disease.
We shouldn't get bitten by these.
All right, you should all roll initiatives because the death dogs already did.
Oh. Is that what that was?
Yeah.
Who knew?
Slightly
not
better
good.
this time. Got an 18.
I got a 5, but I cannot put it in the turn order yet.
Oh no, I get an extra 2 as well, so I get 20.
Aha. I need to remove your old turn order gizmos and add your new turn order gizmos.
I always forget to add initiative modifiers.
They shouldn't call you death dogs. They should call you dumb dogs.
That's unkind to dogs. That are
You're ugly and your hair looks like dog hair.
All right, you should now be able to add your initiatives.
Listen, we all burn to attack every humanoid we see. You have to be civilized.
Monty, I enjoy all of your characters, but these are good. Listeners, I will tell you, I think when you're running a one-shot or a short adventure, encourage your friends or your players, if you're the dungeon master,
If you hate
wacky,
your players, they're not your friends. Still encourage them.
It's good to play a ridiculous, wacky character that you're not going to be stuck with for a long time, because maybe you will love them and use them forever, or maybe they'll be like, that was fun, but he is discarded to never be seen again after, 3 or 4 hours.
I'd like
Four
picturing
hours.
why Krong and Cool Cat hang out.
Yeah.
They seem like they have different points of view on the world.
I assume that they have,
Cool Cat loves
You'd
everything.
be surprised.
there's a backstory, like
Cool Cat,
maybe you
Cool Cat loves
distant cousins met at a family reunion.
They're a buddy comedy.
I wanted to choose a non-Dungeons, like the Dungeons and Dragons obvious backstory is like, oh, so and so saved your life, and so you're eternally tied to them. But no, met at a family reunion is my.
Well, I'm picturing like there's a scene in Cool Cat Saves the Kids where Cool Cat is like lecturing children on doing good, and then we just pan over a little bit. There's a bugbear standing there.
Yeah, he's just off camera.
That's what convinces
Yeah.
the kids to listen to Cool Cat, is that there's a monster right there.
Don't bring guns to school.
Yeah, Krong seems like the kind of guy who would be an elected official in his condo association, is what I'm saying, in Southern California.
Very specific.
Yeah. So, all right. So, thankfully, Diendo spotted the death dogs before they could sneak up and attack you, and so many of you get to go before the death dogs. In fact, only Diendo is kind of caught flat-footed. So, Samson Jothem,
busily letting everybody else know about the death dogs.
yeah,
I turned
Samson
around,
Jothem,
faced the other direction, and said, "Hey, everybody!"
and then you turned around and they had already closed with you.
Oh shoot!
Samson, you are first in the initiative order. Right? So on the map, you see the kind of site of the campsite, and there are 2 death dogs. They're pretty far apart. I would say one's off 20 feet from the group to the east, and one's off kind of 20 feet from the group to the west. Both in the kind of southeast and southwest direction from where you are. I don't know if that totally lines up with what made sense with you heading west, but deal with it.
Do these 2 have separate initiatives, or is it just happenstance that it says Death Dog 1 in the initiative?
They move on the same initiative.
Okay.
Well, I think violence is probably the answer here.
Always.
So you're going to do something with an abacus again, is what I'm hearing?
I think I'm going to save the abacus for something that doesn't look like it can jump out the way. So
Like a statue.
yes, or like a sloth, something slow moving.
A dire
sloths.
sloth. A dire sloth.
I look forward to the death dire sloths that are to come. I'll shoot it with a short bow.
Are you targeting Death Dog? I have labeled them Death Dog 1 and Death Dog 2. Which one do you like?
Well, I don't know if I would say I like either of them really at this point.
Curry favor with the Death Dogs.
I tried talking to them. They just growled. So I think the leader is clearly Death Dog number 1. So I'll shoot Death Dog number 1.
All right. A little presumptuous.
Well, if I was the leader, I wouldn't give myself the name Death Dog number 2. I roll a 19 plus 4.
All right. You plug that
23.
Death Dog with another trusty arrow from your laser gun, which is what you call your short bow.
Yeah.
Roll me damage.
And it's a 1d6 plus 2. So I get 3 plus 2 is 5.
All right. The Death Dog looks annoyed at you.
I think I've annoyed a death dog. This is probably an unwise course of action.
I don't see how it could go wrong. Who is next?
It's me!
Cat.
Cool Cat is going...
Cat.
Cool Cat's going to go kind of in the second line. He's going to step to the back, and then he's going to hurl a boomerang at Death Dog number 1. Mm-hmm. Taking the boomerang out of his boomerang pocket, of course.
All right.
That's a 7.
I would like to see you try to throw the boomerang while it is still in your pocket.
He may have just attempted that. Well, the boomerang... the boomerang sails peacefully around. It does a whole circuit of the dig site and returns to your hand.
Oh, well.
Was
Hits
that
you
it?
on the back of the head.
I think that's it.
Maybe the death dogs were intimidated by it. I bet death dogs catch boomerangs in their mouths all day. Krong.
Karong.
Krong.
The apostrophe is there. It is a very important part of our language.
Just because you guys said it twice doesn't make it a correct.
I will walk into these trees, and I would like to use bonus action hide.
Those are actually, I'll still allow you to hide. That is actually, I know the map is a little bit confusing. That is the steam rising from the strange vents cut into the earth. But I bet you could hide in steam, right?
I'm very stealthy. I rolled an 18 to try to lose myself in the steam.
All right. The not bugbear. You're a bugbear. You're a bugbear. The two-headed dog near you is going to attempt to try and see you. He does have, get this, perception, or bonus to perception checks because 2 heads. It did, what did you get?
18.
He rolled a 17. He rolled 2 12s, plus 5 to perception. So once again, you have narrowly evaded the perception of a relatively perceptive pack animal today, Krong.
Well, then I will carefully creep forward, still staying in this cloud of steam, and then, from 10 feet away, a huge hairy arm stabs out with a rapier.
Oh god, just imagine that. There's just a wall of fog, and then a giant 10-foot arm with a sword at the end of it sticks out and stabs a 2-headed dog.
Now, it's my understanding that I now have advantage. So 16 to hit.
You hit. Roll me damage.
That is a D8 plus a D6 plus 3. 14 points of damage.
That is a significant amount of damage to a death dog. Chomasa, you are next. 2 swords, no waiting. What will you do?
I am going to go move in over to death dog number 2. Like so. Mm-hmm. And we're going to try and 2-sword this sucker. I rolled a 20.
A natural 20?
A natural 20.
So you definitely hit.
So
and you do extra damage.
How extra?
You double the dice rolls you make.
Okay.
But add the bonuses regular.
Okay. And it's a whole 5.
5 total?
5 total.
Are you sure?
The
That
pluses?
seems really low.
It is. I rolled a 1 and a 2 with my 2d6s plus 2.
Oh. Well, you rolled
so
a
that's
1 and a 2, so you double that to 6. And you add how much?
2. But I don't think I get to double the 1 and the 2.
You got a critical hit. If you rolled a 1 and a 2.
Oh, but my normal is
1d6.
1d6.
Oh, I see. Got it.
So I already doubled it.
Oh.
Never mind.
And
Okay.
I still 5. Thanks for trying.
Oh. Okay. So you hit it for 5. But that was just your first attack, right?
That was my first attack.
Okay.
So we will do my second.
I think it's tricky for you with the 2-weapon fighting. Neither attack does a ton of damage, but you get to do 2 attacks, right?
Yes. So that is a 21.
Yeah, that'll hit a death dog.
And another 5.
All right, this death dog is not in mint condition. It is pretty bloody. It does not look like that. Both of its heads are scowling at both of you, Krong and Chomasa, and it is pretty severely injured. This is not what it signed up for. Speaking of Death Dogs, it's Team Death Dog. Yeah, Death Dogs.
Woo! Wait.
Don't cheer for that.
Let's see.
Boo?
Boo. I'm ready.
All right, so you're right there, Chomasa. So the Death Dog is going to try and bite you twice, once with each head.
2 swords, 2 hits.
The first one is an 8 versus armor class, not very intimidating, and the second one is a 13 versus armor class, also not very intimidating.
That does hit, though.
All right, a 13 finds its way through your 2 swords, takes a snap out of your arm for 5 piercing damage. Now, here is the thing. Unfortunately, you can feel the saliva of the Death Dog burning in the wound on your arm. Give me a DC 12 Constitution saving throw.
Uh-oh. 4. I'm terrible.
You have unfortunately contracted some kind of illness from the Death Dog. You are poisoned. Poisoned is pretty bad. Poisoned means you have disadvantage to attacks and ability checks.
Okay.
All right. So that was Death Dog number 2. Death Dog number 1 is going to run forward. And has anyone attacked Death Dog number 1 yet?
I did.
You did. All right. He runs at you.
No, I didn't. Nobody.
He runs at you.
Number 1.
2 heads. 16 versus armor class and 17 versus armor class.
Both get through.
Right.
Chomp, chomp. Each of them does 5 piercing damage to you.
Yeesh.
And give me 2 DC 12 Constitution saving throw checks.
Okay. If I can find. Okay, we have a 6 and another 6.
Congratulations, you are now a carrier of Death Dog germs.
What did I mention about not getting bitten by death dogs?
Yeah. All right.
We should have listened.
Diendo Fatrabbit, you are next.
There's
a Death Dog right near you, eating your friend Samson.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I don't even have to run to get to it. Super convenient. Is
Set
flanking a
out for
thing
you.
in 5e? Just out of curiosity, I've forgotten.
Nope.
I think rogues have a thing where they get advantage if a person, but other people don't.
I get sneak attack damage, but not advantage on the attack.
All right.
Okay.
Well, then I just leap into the air with my spear pointed at the Death Dog and my 2 little feet kicking wildly.
You're going to
And,
stab him and kick him at the same time?
Yeah, that's what I do.
Okay.
Because I have to use the spear two-handed to get versatile out of it. So that first one is a 22.
That definitely hits.
That will do 11 damage.
All right, so you spear the Death Dog in the side, and you're still clinging to the spear as you kick at the dog with your tiny little feet.
Yeah, this actually makes it easier. I'm just anchored at this point.
Yeah.
How does he look?
Not bloodied yet, if bloodied was a thing in 5th edition.
All right, then I'm going to unleash Flurry of Blows and kick at him twice.
All right.
God, I wish it would stop rolling back there. That's a 16 versus 18.
16 hits.
Love it. For 4 points of damage.
Mm-hmm.
Let me verify that real fast. Yes, 4 points of damage. And then my other foot lashes out. And that is a 24 versus AC.
Yeah.
Do 6 points of damage.
All right, this Death Dog is not looking great. But he has, taken 2 good-sized chomps out of Samson Jothem. So he's got that going for him. Diendo, anything else on your turn?
No, that's everything I can... Well, I could move, but I'm not going to.
All right, Samson, you are face-to-face with a Death Dog. Samson, you are face-to-face with a Death Dog, just as you knew you would be someday. Oh, sorry, it should be face-to-face with a Death Dog.
Right.
Stuck between a Death Dog and a cool cat, just like your mother warned you.
Right. Well, I have one trick up my sleeve. which is an arm blade. So
Yeah.
I shall reach forward and stab said death dog in the head.
With your arm blade.
At least
Which head?
attempt to. The good head.
Nearest convenient head.
It's dominant head.
Ooh.
Oh, I think they're pretty equal. There's a lot we could learn from the death dogs about collaboration.
Yeah. I mean, I think head 1 would disagree with head 2, but...
Oh, I mean, I don't know. Their bicameral system of government is, very efficient.
Okay, arm blading. I have rolled 17 plus 4 or 21.
Oh, yeah, you slice into that dog with your blade from your arm. What is Samson's arm blade like?
Have you ever played Assassin's Creed?
Okay, it's like that.
It's legally distinct from
Legally
the arm blades
distinct.
of Assassin's Creed.
Easy, Canadian lawyers. Back on your moose. For people who have not played Assassin's Creed, would you like to paint them a word picture of your arm?
Basically, I just sort of flick my wrist slightly, and a large blade protrudes actually from the skin of my arm, because it is built in, unlike the Assassin's Creed variety, which is why it's legally distinct. And it's just very helpful if you're right next to somebody and you just stab them in the head.
It's got you've got you've got a tattoo on your forearm that says, "In case of death dog, remember that you have an arm blade."
Yes, it's
Like Ryan Reynolds had in X-Men Origins Wolverine.
but better.
So I believe you've hit. I don't believe you've rolled damage yet.
No, we need to talk about arm blades for another half an hour.
Oh.
I have rolled
Arm blade, more like harm blade. Am I right?
I have rolled a 4 plus 2, 6.
All right. This death dog is maybe one good hit or 2 little hits from being just a death.
He can't poison me again.
That's true. Oh, you know what? You just did an attack. You remember what happens when you attack and you're poisoned?
No.
You have disadvantage. You may not have hit.
Okay.
Roll
well,
again.
let's say I roll a dice again.
Yep, let's try it.
I rolled a 14 plus 4.
That's still very good. You somehow, through your death dog fever, are able to stab that death dog.
Death Dog Fever was a great single in the 80s.
Thank you, James. All right, speaking of death dogs, it's time for the coolest cat that you know. Way cooler than legal cool cat. It's illegal off-brand cool cat.
Cool cat.
Oh, no.
Chucks another boomerang. It's the same boomerang. 12.
Do you... Just checking. This is like what you do?
Yes. Throw boomerangs?
You're a bard. I figured there'd be something musical involved at some point.
Well, I'm saving
Just
those.
for healing?
I'm saving
Just
those
for
for healing and also for big attacks, but I'm saving those
All right.
for these dogs. The 12
All right.
hit.
Also, the boomerangs kind of make a whistling musical tone
Indeed,
as they
a
go
12
around.
will hit a death dog, and it looks like you have rolled 7 damage.
Indeed.
The boomerang hits the death dog squarely in the head, and the death dog goes "Whoa!" and falls over. What does Cool Cat do when he kills a death dog?
He does a little dance that goes like this. It makes me happy that I killed a death dog. Yeah! Yeah!
Cool Cat, it reminds me of how the real Cool Cat is always celebrating death.
I think at this point, Samson makes a comment in Squirrel to Chimasa.
Cats killing dogs. It's what it's all about, people.
Cool Cat, would you like to move or do anything else?
I would not.
All right. Across the battlefield, Krong still hides in a big steam cloud, but within reach of the remaining death dog.
Well, I'm not hidden anymore. I would like to... Once you attack out of it, it doesn't work anymore. I would like to re-hide, if you'll let me do that, with my bonus action. Sort of fade into the steam. 12
I mean, there's literally a column of smoke here. The death dog is pretty sure it knows where you are.
Okay.
Which is to say you're not hidden.
Yeah, that's fine. I will attack without advantage with my rapier. 22 to hit.
Roll me damage.
All right, that's a D8 plus a D6 plus a D3 because one of my allies is next to him. 12 points of damage.
So that's not sneak attack, but that's still...
It is sneak attack damage because sneak
I'm right
attack
there.
is you get the extra die if you have advantage on the attack or another enemy of the target is within 5 feet of it.
Wow. So you didn't really need to hide. The hide was for flavor.
The hide was so I would have advantage on the attack if I could get it.
Gotcha. Okay, sorry, I was stacking. There's both the element of having advantage to make it easier to hit and having sneak attack to deal tons of damage. So in an ideal world, you want both of those. But it seems like you're pretty good at getting one or the other.
Yeah.
Yes. All right.
So 12 points of damage with my rapier.
This death dog is one hit away from death. Chomasa, can you slay this dog before it gets its final turn?
We'll see. I have 2 hits.
2 hits.
Disadvantage. So.
Oh, yeah, you are poisoned thing.
Oh.
We see you attack.
I rolled.
In the background, Cool Cat is still dancing.
Cool Cat should be looking up the rules as the bard for how you cure someone of disease.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. Somebody better have some antitoxin.
Yeah.
I rolled an 8.
8 on the first attack. You swing wide, way over the head of the death dog. Your second attack?
It's better. It is 12.
12 is enough. You connect with the death dog, hopefully for enough damage to slay it. How much damage is that?
5.
You slay a death dog. You hit one of its heads with your sword, and it turns out the other head has a very surprised look on its face, while the first head is caved in, and the death dog slumps to the ground. You have killed a horrible 2-headed dog beast.
I don't dance.
You don't dance. You are out of combat. Now, the challenge is that I believe 2 of you are still poisoned. With death dog fever.
Mm-hmm.
Catch it.
Don't catch it.
I will not bite you.
How do they resist death dog fever?
Well, it is basically just poisoned. So I don't know if the way it works, every 24 hours you have a chance to repeat the saving throw. And you could get worse or you could get better. Are there other ways that you could cure a disease in D&D that I don't know about? That is, like, I believe there is a ritual that says that is literally cure disease.
Do you think we know that ritual?
I don't know. Are any of you? If anyone was going to know, it would probably be a bard, unless you had like a cleric. You don't have a cleric nearby, or apparently there's a spell called Lesser Restoration.
Yeah, out of our out of scale for us, I think.
Yeah. Well, Lesser Restoration is a 2nd level abjuration. Yeah, you didn't bring a paladin or a cleric. Yeah. You may be inflicted with disease for the rest of the adventure.
How far from town are we at this point? Somebody in town might be able to fix you up.
You are a couple hours from town. You could go back to town.
I think we're going to have to go back to town and rest and recuperate and hope that they can maybe save.
I'd like to investigate this little area first.
Okay.
Like, the poison should only hurt you when we're fighting. We can look and see what happened here first.
Also hurts ability checks. But, but you can totally look around, especially not all of you are poisoned. So, who wants to explore and tell me, maybe roll some kind of investigation, or other types of things that just tell me what you're exploring, I guess. Who's first?
I rolled a 7 to just look around and get the lay of the land.
All right. Well, there's a lot of carnage as previously described. Lots of bodies it looks like they were various miners or other kinds of excavators. The death dogs seems to have chewed up further things that were probably slaughtered by larger animals. It does in fact look like this scene of carnage seems out of scale even with that of the the two dire wolves you saw. And in fact, I will tell you, Krong, as you look around, there's a large, obvious kind of opening to a mine over here on the bottom of the map. There are several large creatures here. It looks like one of them is kind of like a dinosaur-esque. The other one just seems to be like a big angry tree, and it's like they've killed each other. And there's other smaller various monster creatures stacked around. It looks like there was basically like a giant monster arena fight here. Giant in terms of scale of the fight, not of the monsters themselves.
Have you guys seen this monster fight club over here?
And it occurs to you, it occurs to some of you, who is familiar with death dogs? At least Samson, right?
Yeah, I think I would be.
Samson, you were familiar with death dogs, which are these kind of awful little creatures. They're usually, it would be unusual for them to attack adventurers, right? They usually kind of skulk about and eat remains, right? They're like carrion feeders. So the fact
I'm a bit over familiar with them at this point.
Yeah, the fact that these two death dogs attacked you seemed extremely violent for them, out of characteristically violent for them.
Yeah, combined with the behavior we're seeing from the dire wolves, something is clearly up.
Yeah. Does anyone else want to investigate or poke around?
I'd like to take a look down the steaming shafts.
All right. Classic Steve line.
Yeah.
That's a 17.
There's these shafts cut deep into the earth with kind of this weird steam fog coming out of them. The shafts are very steep and angled sharply. Seems like probably not a safe way to descend into the mine. Also, probably few creatures bigger than Diendo would be able to fit down the shafts.
But it seems like the steam would like hold you up, so you could just slowly drift down to the bottom.
Is that
of the
how
shaft.
steam works? Is that gravity?
Diendo has an intelligence of 8.
Yes.
What's gravity?
I think Samson is just trying to work out what would happen if you put a death dog down one of those shafts, just to see.
Chomasa, do you want to be doing anything right now?
I would like to look at the statues.
All right. Give me some kind of perception or investigation or something like that.
I rolled an 18 perception.
Okay. The statues look like they're pretty old and decrepit. They have probably been here for a few hundred years. They look like they are dwarven in construction and motif.
With my extensive dwarven training, I feel I should check out the statues and see if I get any clues from them.
All right.
You're like somebody who went to Italy for a summer and won't stop talking about it.
Look, I trained for decades.
Ciao.
And I haven't been able to drop my dwarven accent.
Yes.
My favorite is the people that like go to Ireland for like 3 weeks and they come back with an Irish accent that they never would have used in Ireland, but like day one off the plane in America, they're always
Let me tell you about my dwarven heritage.
Oh.
If you go back long enough.
Yeah, like suddenly you're wearing like a very ornate dwarven scarf that you won't shut up about.
Yeah. I don't like how my character has suddenly become this person. But fine, we'll roll with it.
Tony is turning your character into one of his characters.
Yes. You can't write my backstory. I rolled a 16.
It's clearly dwarven. You recognize some of the signature imprinting of the Deep River Dwarven clan. I think you are, in fact, pretty confident that this is the site of there was a famous Dwarven mine in this area several hundred years ago, where the Deep River clan had a very successful mining operation that ran for quite some time until they basically tapped out the mine, and but they were able to pull all kinds of gold and riches out of the mine. I will even tell you, let's see. They were very successful. They were around for a long time. Some say, wait for it, they dug too deep.
Ooh.
It's always the way with mines.
Yeah.
Did that enter, or am I still waiting?
That was it.
Do we have...
Samson, you know specifically that you were probably at the base of a mountain known as Gold Peak, for that was where the mine was located and where all the gold was pulled out.
So I will inform all my colleagues of all this information that you've just told us.
Gold Peak is the
Yes.
name of the mountain with all the gold in it.
It was named after they found the gold, just to be clear.
Okay.
That was lucky.
Yeah.
Nominative determinism at its finest.
Cool Cat rolled a 10 investigation to try and figure out maybe where these death dogs came from. Cool Cat's all about following the trail of the animals.
It's you are with a 10 are not able to find them, but it does seem like there are a variety of animal footprints, like headed in this direction of this campsite from multiple directions.
Like
Something
in or out?
They are
Drawn
all
here.
going in. Pretty much in is the general consensus.
So I feel we should just seal the entrance to this mine and then go back to the town.
You just want to look at the hand some more.
I do. It's so fascinating. And this is clearly a bad mine. We should just seal it up.
How?
So,
Have you heard
this
of
was-
abacuses?
This was a
There's
dig.
a whole bunch of statues we could
Who
stack
were
up.
the people who were digging here? And did they break through?
Yeah, I mean, so this was a mine several hundred years ago, right? But clearly, there's dozens of carcasses and equipment and tents here that are fresh and recent. So you don't know. You've been very fixated on things like statues.
I
and
want-
death
Can
Can we
dogs so
look in the
far.
tents?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think we should look at and try to determine who the victims are too.
And I'm
right.
going to start rifling through the carcasses to see if they got anything on them of interest.
Oh, and so you do. Let me see here.
The wolves.
So there
don't have
are
much.
0 survivors at this campsite, and in fact, most of the corpses are pretty heavily gnawed on, destroyed. It's an assortment of dwarves and humans, and they are none of them look like fighters by their equipment. They seem to be armed with a variety of mining and prospecting gear. Steve?
Well, that sounds great, Tony. What kind of gear they got? Pitchforks?
Back in the old times, the dwarves had a mine down
wait.
here.
Pitchforks?
Did you just suggest that a prospector uses a pitchfork?
I sure did.
Wow, that's some suburban garbage right there. I think
I'm
you
looking
meant
for a golden needle in a haystack.
I got a patch of hay out back.
Well, we got that out of our system. Surely that won't come up again.
I'd like to change my character.
It's a team of 5 dwarven prospectors with pitchforks.
And I will tell you, Cool Cat, you find, in fact, there's kind of a logbook. It looks like it's kind of a journal of one Grenwald Windcastle, who was the leader of this expedition, which looks like it was more of a kind of an archaeological treasure hunting undertaking, and not a not a mining operation, and that they came here looking for lost riches or some kind of a vault.
But they only found death.
Presumably he was attacked between journal sessions and not mid writing in a journal. And I have only
Doesn't
found
go arg.
Arr! Yes.
Oh no,
he was,
the wolves, no.
Yeah, and then there's a bloody paw print at the end that says like, "This is our journal now." So
Wow, something just bit me. I must put down my pen to investigate.
yes. I will also tell you, in the same tent as the journal, you find a pretty substantial looking steel lockbox.
I wonder if it's full of antitoxin.
Oh,
Yeah, they were prepared to be attacked by death dogs,
Yeah, well, I mean,
as evidenced by their death.
Well, there might be poison gas in the mine that they're worried about. Makes sense.
Yeah.
hey, you want?
Can we try to
you guys-
open this box?
You guys want me to
Yeah.
open this box?
I think I'd probably be
Open
pretty
it.
good at opening boxes.
I got
What?
these tools specifically designed for opening locks.
Do it.
Yeah, I have a whole bunch of tools for
Oh,
opening
you-
boxes.
Go ahead then.
Well, we can just sit here until we open the
You
box.
go ahead.
No, I mean-
artificer.
You can't solve every problem with brute force.
I was going to use my
I can kick it.
lockpicks as a
Can I kick it?
trained
He's a rogue.
thief and rogue, but no, you go ahead. Catapult an abacus at it.
You do that once, and you get a reputation.
Yeah, that was not a great opening move, James.
It would have been if it worked. Which
Would it
is... Yes.
Okay.
It would be my signature thumb thing. All right, what do I need to do to open this damn box?
I mean, you do have a trained rogue. I mean, this is me really helping you out as a dungeon master. Like,
Fine.
I think he literally has thieves' tools. Do you have something? I mean, you probably are great
I
at making
do
locks.
also have thieves' tools.
Oh, okay. Did you
And,
steal them?
It's a sleight of hand roll. Do you have proficiency with your thieves' tools, or
Yes, I do.
Oh, okay. Because some people just carry them.
No, I mean, well, I've got a +2. What have you got?
It's just a dexterity roll.
I don't know what +2 means. I'm a fully realized character in a magical fantasy world.
Thank you, Monty.
It's a 5.
Well, I investigate the materials of the box and say, I think
Do you
this
want
one's
to do-
yours.
Tell you what, let's team up. You
Yeah, teamwork.
Can I borrow those thieves' tools? I want to try this.
No. You see if it's trapped. Because I'm terrible at that.
Good plan. What would that be?
It's investigation.
Oh, I can do that. +3. No, I cannot. 5.
You're pretty confident it's not trapped.
Great.
I hand it over.
Here we go. All right. I hold it up to my face and delicately get a 23 on sleight of hand to pick this lock.
It's just
All
a
right, you are
dexterity check.
extremely successful in picking the lock. Unfortunately,
+5 with dexterity. So
you have also triggered the trap in the lock. And
I was pretty sure there wasn't one, but
and a poison dart fires out in the direction of your face.
Oh, good.
my
We're all
face.
getting poisoned today.
Only 8 versus AC though.
well, it misses then, doesn't it?
Yeah, it whistles past your eye and hits itself into the tarp of the tent behind you. So you now have an open lockbox there. We'll say you throw back the lid, and inside, this box was quite big. This was like a trunk, right? Inside are 22 gold bars.
Whoa.
right. Let's just take the gold and leave.
Heavens.
Each bar is marked with the same helm and battle axe insignia that you recognize as the marking of the Dwarven clan that ran this mining operation all those hundreds of years ago. So there are 22 gold bars. Each is worth 10 gold pieces each. So math is that many gold pieces.
Good thing I brought an abacus. See, they
All
come
right.
handy.
220.
Yeah.
You could have just saved us some time by having them be rolls of gold coins instead of bars.
Or
It just
platinum
makes them
pieces, which are
harder.
exactly that.
Well, we can hit people over the head with them. So
This is
So this is
platinum
a
peak
signet.
here.
This is carrying this lockbox is probably somewhat inconvenient, but it is also probably more money than you've ever seen in one place before in your level
Yeah.
2 lives.
It's weird that
Ironically,
this mine
coins
produces-
don't weigh anything.
It's weird that this mine produces gold in bar form. That's
Yeah.
unusual.
Is there a smelting plant around here?
It's probably on site. They're dwarves. They lived here. They had a whole operation.
All right. Is there anything else in the trunk?
Also, guys, the name of the adventure is Dwarven Vault.
Yeah.
They probably had a vault near the mine. There's nothing else in the lockbox. This was
Spoilers.
just a lockbox where they kept gold.
we could probably buy a lot of antitoxin with this gold.
Hey, we could build our own weird hand and you could investigate it.
Yeah, we could make it out of gold.
So I think you are faced with the choice. Do you go deeper into the mine to explore what is happening here, or do you retreat to town? The downside of possibly retreating is that this mining operation does seem to be the destination for all manner of weird creatures, and if you do not stop whatever is causing them to convene, there may be a new host of threats to battle the next day.
Well, I'm not in particularly great state.
2 of our 5 people can't attack without being at disadvantage. That's really
Yeah.
bad.
Well, they can. They just have to give themselves advantage somehow, and then it balances out.
True.
I'll just give myself advantage.
Yeah, see? Easy.
Done.
Great stuff.
Well,
Tony, if
so
you
if
could
we
just hand out inspiration every time that somebody needs to make an attack, that would be real helpful.
Steve gets inspiration for making that comment.
Wait.
I'll take it.
Steve, can I have your inspiration?
Inspiration can be gifted, yeah.
Can it really?
Yeah, absolutely. You can either do that now or it is... oh, yeah, absolutely. Inspiration is transferable.
Uh-oh.
What?
No pressure.
And now we run this adventure ourselves.
Froze out briefly.
So
Yeah,
what
I'll give inspiration over to Chomasa.
Mm-hmm.
Or
You can
Chomasa,
also-
or whatever your name is.
You could give it at a specific incident or moment also.
Oh, okay. I'll hang on to it until you
Okay.
do it.
So what do we think?
I don't
If we
know.
go-
It's challenging. You are inconvenienced by this situation, I'll admit.
Well, maybe the creatures that convene during the time we're in town won't be poisonous next time.
Yes, they'll just give us some other status effect. Maybe we get the
100%.
gold. We
Let's see if
go
we can collect
back.
them all.
We go back and we buy like one of every anti thing that we can find in town.
It's true.
And we come back. And then
Good.
if, so we can deal with poisons and...
There is
whatever.
also the danger that every day that this challenge goes undealt with is another day that Whitesparrow is in danger.
Could
Yeah,
we...
that's Whitesparrow.
I say we go in because
We'll be there to protect them if we're going back to town. So
I say we go into the dark, scary mine full of unknown monsters.
yeah, let's do it.
Okay.
What's the worst that can happen? We could just all die. And
I think
that
Cool
would be an
Cat's just trying to
exciting
punk
end.
us.
A short distance away from the expedition camp, a network of deep mine shafts lead into the mountain, carved out over centuries. Ancient, cracked supports keep the ceilings of these shafts from collapsing. Pools of fresh blood and piles of entrails mark spots where large numbers of predatory creatures have recently fought and fed on each other.
Neat.
Yeah, this
should
absolutely
definitely
seems
do
to be the
this.
direction we should go
Yeah.
in. Yeah.
Well, we won't run out of food.
Do you want to move your tokens on the map as you head deeper into the earth?
Do we?
Sure.
Sure.
Good question.
In runs a halfling.
In runs a halfling. Diendo leads the way into the dark, foreboding mine. Let's see. It seems like there is kind of one main path, and the bloody footprints and carcasses are clearly all headed in one direction. And eventually you arrive at a large chasm. There is a deep fissure, the bottom so deep you cannot see it in the darkness below. It seems like whatever creatures are coming and going have somehow traversed this, but the fissure is 20 feet wide. There are two metal beams that looks like the remnants of some kind of, bridge that has no longer in place. The beams are very solid. They are kind of like rooted into the earth itself, but with fine dwarven craftsmanship. So the question is, will you be able to cross this crevasse, or is this where some people die, plunging horribly to their death? Perhaps you should send the poison people,
the poisons.
poison people first to test it.
I'm game.
Yeah.
So crevasse, the crevasse is like 20 feet wide. How far across is it though? So it's up to you. How do you want to try and navigate this peril?
Well, first we need to look up the jumping rules once again.
And what page is that again?
That's a player problem, not a dungeon master problem.
Well,
182.
Oh.
so I have some rope. I think I could probably tie the rope around one leg, tie the rope around the...
Why would you tie it around on your leg?
Well, he's going to loop it under the beam, so if he falls down, he's dangling upside down.
Yes.
What is there a second part of your plan?
How about waist? Could we put it around our waist?
Okay.
Yes, that would be the traditional place to tie a rope to yourself.
I don't know. It's just me.
Everybody's got opinions.
I'm just James. That was a new level of stupidity in rope ideas. I'm just saying.
Wow, dude.
You're like tying a rope to your foot. Like you've basically pre-snared yourself.
Yep. Well, I didn't get to the second half, which was brilliant. But since everybody wants to go with around the waist idea,
So you said it's 20 feet across.
Yes. Does Cool Cat jump 20 feet as a cool cat who loves to jump and dance?
Well, in combat I can double my speed, but the jumping requires a strength thing, which means you can only jump the length of your strength, which is not going to be 20 for almost anybody. So you'd have to do an acrobatics check, I think. But I don't know.
I'm willing to try.
I'm
To
tremendous
not
at
jump,
acrobatics.
but to test the bridge.
How
And
about
to be clear, this is not a bridge. This is an X
It's
bridge.
like
It is two metal
an X bridge.
balancing beams.
So I think
I
the
will
safety
shuffle
rope.
along. Yeah,
Do you
like
want?
with the
Do you want a
rope.
safety rope?
Oh, 100%.
Okay, so we'll tie the safety rope to you, and we'll round your waist, of course, and tie the other bit to the one of the beams because they seem fairly sturdy.
are you
Not to the
excellent?
beams. I feel like I'm pretty dexterous, and I have good acrobatics and athletics.
Do you want a safety rope or not?
Well,
Oh no, with a safety rope
I
tied
don't
to
think,
something, not the bridge.
Yeah, I think we tie the rope to a person, and the rest of us hold the rope. That
Cool.
person goes across the beam,
Yes.
and then other people go across the beam
All
until
right.
there's one person left on this end.
So which end of the rope is tied to the sack of grass, and which end of the rope is tied to the wolf? And
I think our large bugbear would be a good anchor.
Yeah, I will be
Yeah.
the anchor because I can get across myself at the end. It'll be fine. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to hold one end, wrap it around my waist.
all right. So our adventurers have a plan to cross this horrible chasm and head deeper into the mine. What horrors await them? Will there be more shenanigans with rope? Will Tony ever allow that? How did he even allow this? Will the poison be their undoing, or will it be the energy that fuels their fire? For answers to questions such as these, join us next time for Total Party Kill.